cues are most commonly known together with the word social cues, but that is by far from the only place it has value, especially in business. Hey there, I'm Esty Rapport, a brain engineer for entrepreneurs, where I help them improve their 28 thinking skills so running their business is easier. If you're new here, welcome. I'm excited to have you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. Now, like I just said, thinking is made up of 28 thinking skills. It's not like this one big thing like, oh, I'm thinking. It's actually made up of 28 thinking skills. And naturally, we all have stronger ones and weaker ones, but those weaker ones are making certain things a challenge for us. Now, guess what? One of those 28 thinking skills is called searching for relevant cues. Okay. Now, most people who struggle with this thinking skill or can improve this thinking skill in one of two ways. Either they don't see these cues at all, like, or not enough, right? Anytime someone is giving them a cue in some sort of way, or there's a cue from a project, it doesn't even just have to be from a person. It could be from a task. It could be from content. It could be from the audience. Like while you're giving a speech and is the audience, are you taking the cues from the audience? It could be, are you seeing cues like which content is landing better than others? All that is just like simply not noticing it. Are you not noticing it or you're not using it? That is one way to be struggling with it. Now, another way to be struggling with this thinking skill is you see all this information, you're taking in all these cues, but you're not identifying which parts of this information is relevant. That's why it's called searching for relevant cues. We are bombarded by information the entire time. Anytime you're trying to do a task, right? Going back to that example, if you are giving a speech and there's people in the audience, like they're all listening to you, but the security guard in the back there is yawning, that is not a relevant cue. You don't have to take that personally and think that people aren't listening. But if a bunch of people in the audience is not paying attention and they're too busy scrolling their phone to listen to you, you better do something because they are not interested in your speech. So you better take action on that, right? Same if let's say you're analyzing your content. Some people like just don't take any cues and they just decide whatever they're in the mood of, that's just what they're going to do with no strategy. And it can be fun, but that might not drive business, right? If you're actually analyzing your content to see which type of content does better, there is so much information that you can get. The analytics are only getting better by the day. And you have to figure out which part of these information, which part of these cues are relevant to you and which one is not. Which one is relevant to the goal, is relevant to the task, and which one is not, right? Another way people might get overwhelmed by this or not use this correctly is if let's say they decide, you know what, I need to improve my messaging, I need to improve my sales page and like how I tell people what I'm doing. So I'm going to do a lot of one-on-one calls. I'm just going to speak to previous clients. I'm going to speak to potential clients and I'm going to hear about their struggles and the words that they're using, and then I can improve my messaging. Now, that's actually a really good strategy to improve your messaging because you are then going to use the words that your clients use. You're not like made up words, some like imaginary avatar. You're actually speaking to your clients. Here's the thing. If you speak to a bunch of clients, past, current, or future, you are going to get a bunch of information. And that's, guess what? Not all that information is going to be relevant to you, to your business, and to the message you are going to provide. So don't try to stick all of it in. You have to find what is relevant. Okay, so here are four ways. Here are 4 ways for you to get better at it. Well, really 5. Okay, it is 5 ways. The first one is simply by being conscious about this searching for relevant cues, right? The more conscious you are about it now, it may take a little bit more effort now to like be aware of it. Then in the beginning, it takes more time, but eventually it just happens easily and naturally. That's number 1. Number 2, use the term searching for relevant cues. Like, are there any relevant cues? Where can I find relevant cues? What are the relevant cues telling me? When you use the term, first of all, it like ingrains it in your brain more, but also it helps your brain be able to pick up more information because It's literally making it more concrete than just like thinking it in your head, right? Like when you have a problem and you talk it out with a friend, like even if they don't say anything, it just like organizes things. So same thing here. When you talk it out and you use that term relevant cues, it helps your brain organize and understand what relevant cues is and helps you be able to find that information better. Now, on a similar note, use relevant cues, not just with yourself, but also with the people around you. So whether that's family, friends, clients, employees, use the terms, right? Relevant cues. Are there any relevant cues? Did we miss any relevant cues? Where else can we find more relevant cues? As you use this term together with the people around you, not only are you going to develop it, they will develop it, but also you will hold each other accountable and you will find it way easier to develop the skill. I always tell clients to use the language that we use in sessions at home and in their business, because that is the fastest way for your brain to really get ingrained in it. Like the more reminders it has, the more places that it's being used, the faster your brain will be doing it naturally. Okay. So that's number 3. Now, number 4 is for those people who are taking in all of this information, but they're not specifically finding the relevant information. So ask yourself this question: is it relevant? Whenever you are overwhelmed by a lot of information, whenever you need to make a lot of a decision, an important decision, and you have a lot of information, whenever you're just like trying to work out what to do, what your next step should be, whatever it is, ask yourself, is this relevant? Because like we said, there's so much information coming in and you have to be able to figure out and filter out what is relevant and what is not. And the last one, number 5, is super fun. It's not directly like while you are in your business, but it will most definitely improve this skill. So when you go back to your business, it will help you more. And that is play games that require you to use cues. Okay. So whether it's a kid's game or even an adult game, or I should say the opposite, whether it's an adult game or even a kid game, it can help you, because many children's games are even really challenging for adults. Okay. So you could play games like Clue, Cat Crimes, one of my favorites, Dog Crimes, another version of Cat Crimes, Cross Clues, etc. All these games where in order to figure out the answer, you need to look at cues and see what's relevant and what's not, and how these cues are going to help you figure out the answer is going to help you develop this cognitive function, this thinking skill. Now, if you want to go deep and really improve all of your 28 cognitive functions, so you are thinking in the most efficient and effective way possible, so running your business is easier, you will want to apply to your Entrepreneur Brain Rewired, a 90-day cohort where we come together in small groups, successful entrepreneurs, to together improve their 20 cognitive functions and get to peak brain performance. So check that out below right here, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now.